You know, I never get tired of that. I never get tired of that. Hello, 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 hello. Welcome to Royal Sussex Live. Welcome, one and all. Thank you so much for being here. Carol Lund, thank you so much for being here first. I really do appreciate it. I never get tired of that intro. I mean, it's just, um, oh no, not that one. This one. Now, one more time for the people that just got here. Oh man, I never get tired of that. It is so. What's his name? The conductor, the John Williams or whatever his name is, the one that did Star Wars. It very much sounds like one of his musical scores. Wow, it's so um, evocative, right? Yeah, that's what it is. Um, 33 months membership. Wow, thank you so much for 33 months of constant support for Royal Sussex. um yeah, that I really do appreciate that. Thank you so much for the support. And thank you for watching Royal Sussex. Wow, 33 months membership. That's a long time. It's hard to believe that Royal Sussex has been around that long. And well, I don't know. I was thinking about planning something special for the new year, but we'll see. Wow. And speaking of the new year, another one of those marathons, right? Where we're up for hours. Also, what else? Yeah, and Christmas is coming. So I I I kind of overdid it with the what is it? The as ever. Oh my goodness. As ever. As ever. I feel like I need a second job for as ever. Um and the bad part is I don't want to give away anything, but I really have to because that makes sense out of it. Otherwise, I mean, you know what I'm saying? It would be a shame to keep it to myself. Even though I have been using my as ever candle, I think every day. I'm using both of them. I've alternated between the two of them. So I really enjoy the candles. There is a difference. One I like more than the other, and I can't remember which one it is. Although I love them both, and I love the container. Um, yeah. So and that container is a keepsake. You can use it for flowers. You can use it for pins, or you can use it for whatever. It's a great keepsake. Uh, oh yeah. Yes, I'll give away photos of me enjoying the products. Yeah, I understand what you're saying. I mean, but how much jam? How much honey am I going to use? right? I mean, at the rate I use honey, that honey is going to last me a very long time. And then I'm so intrigued by the sage honey. I feel like I want to grab one, and I probably won't cook a whole turkey, but I'm trying to talk someone into using it on some turkey wings. I'm not going to cook, but um I don't know. I've never made turkey before, so um I guess I could try. I mean, I never changed a water pump on a old Toronado before, and then I did it, and after I replaced it, I I can say now that I replaced the water pump on a 1970s Oldsmobile Toronado. Took me about 8 hours, and I nicked and cut my hands and everything, but oh, I was so proud of myself. So proud of all of the mosquito bites I got. Well, yeah, that was the most amazing thing I've ever done in terms of auto repair. Changing a water pump on an old 1970s Oldsmobile Toronado. Let's see. Okay. All right. So, oh, you know what? All of this talking, I could have got the slides up. Okay. Well, I'll do that now. I'm glad I figured out how to get those slides together. You guys won't believe if I told you, you wouldn't believe how ridiculous that whole confusion was, right? And I don't even think I could explain it, because if you don't use these programs, you wouldn't be able to make sense out of it. But it was just as simple as one of the steps, instead of going to the second part and clicking on that, I should have clicked on the first part, the top one. They moved it. They moved it. And I didn't even notice that it was still the same things, but they just changed places. And I'm just so, that muscle memory of clicking that one button. So when they moved it, even though they're not identical, I didn't notice the difference. I'm like, am I getting too old for this? All right. So there we go. Oh, you know what? That's not exactly the thumbnail I wanted to use, but oh well, it'll do for now. Anyway, the real thumbnail is with the video. Okay. Also, I must have said something weird in one of the videos the other day. Do you know they will not completely monetize it? Have I been so much of a potty mouth? What in the world did I say? I must have said something. I don't know. Was it when I said someone could go to HE double hockey stick? I must have said something wrong, but they don't want to like completely monetize that video, and I don't know what I said. I mean, I'd be the first one to say I'm amazed at some of the things that comes out of my mouth, but I don't know what I said. I must have said something though, but yeah, they don't even want to completely monetize that video. So I'm like, oh well, I don't know what I said. And it's not giving me any clues as to what happened. But it just says limited you know, huh, not suitable for most advertisers. Really? Huh. Yeah, and I didn't share any nude images this time. I I haven't taken that many lately. So I don't know what it was. I don't know. Anyway, you guys, you may remember during the global pandemic, I went to a concert in Wisconsin. I went to see the Black Veil Brides. Not really my type of band, but it was the first time I had got out of the house or the second time, I think, during the whole of the global pandemic, right? And what could I say? I was one of the few people wearing a face mask in this massive crowd. Um, and yes, I was very, very nervous. As far as I don't know, I don't know. I'm sorry. As far as I know, I don't believe I actually have been exposed to the dreaded pandemic, but I did, do the vaccines when they were available. But I think this was pre-vaccine. I think this was pre-vaccine. Anyway, I had a great time. I went to this one, and I went to go and see a band called the 21 Pilots, either before or after this. And none of this would have happened if it wasn't for a friend of the Royal Sussex who dragged me out into the public to do stuff. And I didn't want to do it because I mean, I don't even think I had saw my family for like 2 years during a global pandemic. Or did I? I think I did. I don't know. I'm kind of confused about when the vaccines came out. Either way, I did go to these concerts, and I had a great time. And and I like pretty much any kind of music, but anyway, I had an opportunity to help my rescuer with their new single. We went to the desert, and I bet you can never guess when it happened because seamlessly I have not missed a day of Royal Sussex since I got out of the hospital in September of 2024. But there you go. Nathan has filmed a video. Well, actually, I filmed it with him in the desert, the desert of Las Vegas, Red Rock. Do they call it Red Rock Canyon? No, just Red Rock. Anyway, if you've ever been there before, it is beautiful. And one of the reasons why I wanted to go is because I have never been to the desert before, ever. I mean, I've been to Las Vegas, but I haven't been out in the desert. I don't call going to the city of Las Vegas as being out in the desert. So, I um I was the filmmaker for this particular project, and I'm gonna put the link for the video at the top of the chat so you have a chance to see it. Also, I'm gonna put it on the community post later. Well, let me do that right now. Okay. Okay, I think that's it. I'm gonna pin that. So make sure you check it out. It is some beautiful images of the desert. And this happens to be a song that Nathan actually wrote himself, and he's playing most of the instruments, if not all of them. I can't remember. Anyway, he's super talented. So make sure that you check it out. Again, this is my filmmaking. Um, and as you know, I love to edit stuff, but um, I really can't take credit for much of the editing. Um, that was out of my hands, but I did do the filming. So let me see. Let me make sure this is the right link. Yeah. Anyway, super talented. He wrote the song himself, and let me see. Let me translate that for you. Is in Portuguese. If you don't recognize it, it's in Portuguese. So I'm going to go to translate. Let me figure out what is. Okay, In My Dreams Forever. That is the name of the song. And again, that is in Portuguese. So beautiful song. You'll still enjoy it whether or not you can speak the language. And you can see my film work. But isn't it beautiful? I mean, absolutely stunning desert. Look at that. Amazing landscape. I've never been to the desert before. So yeah, when I heard about it, I'm just like, yep, I'm on my way. Um, yes, I'm sure that's Nevada. I'm sure it's Nevada. Red Rock. Okay, there is a Red Rock amphitheater, sure, but this one is in Nevada. Yeah, Red Rock, Las Vegas. I'm looking at it right now. Red Rock Canyon National Conservation Area. That's what they call it. And it is in Clark County. And you could drive through this area. There's a few places where you can hop out and look around. There's also a trail that you can take through the canyon, but it is stunning. Brazilian Portuguese. Okay, so yeah, that was my big project, and you wouldn't even know I had left town, would you? I am like a ninja. I move with stealth. By the way, you guys, it's midnight. It is Church Nellie's birthday, so I'm going to post a card for you guys to sign because Church Nellie's birthday is today, I believe, the 1st of December. So look for that later as well. Okay? Yes, it is gorgeous. My first trip to the desert. I can't believe it. I'm like, wow, this is amazing. Hey, Zakoy Farm, thank you so much for being here. Yep. I know. I can't imagine what I said the other day. But let me see, what video was that? Oh, never mind. I have to go back and look through everything. But anyway, let's keep this moving because I don't want to stay on so late. Um, or should I say so long? Red Rock. Red Rock. We will Red Rock you. Okay. So, again, also make sure you like the video. That's the other thing. Please make sure you watch it and you like it. Again, the link is right up there at the top. And also, I will post that on the community tab. But how talented. He taught himself to play the drums, taught himself to play the bass guitar, and some other stuff. And I'm just amazed at how he managed to do all of that. Let me see here. So like, share. Let's see, like, share. What's the other one I always say? Oh, subscribe. There you go. All right. Okay. We're good? All right. Hey, legs. The Church Nelly video. Should I do that? I'll do that one tomorrow. Please make sure you remind me. Okay. Again, this is a video that I did the cinematography. So make sure you check it out from Red Rock, what is it? Las Vegas, Las Vegas, Nevada. Okay. All right. And also, another reminder, early access. Well, not even the early access. I shouldn't use this one. I should use the other one. But there's 20% off site wide for all things as ever. So make sure you take advantage of that. And look at that. There's the As Ever Brute, a sparkling wine, the Brute. And you could also get the Brute in that attractive case. If you guys get that case after you finish the wine, can I have the case? I don't want to spend any more money for now with As Ever. I think I've reached my limit, but I do want that case. Take a screenshot. Take a screenshot. I do want that case, and I also want the other case. So when you're done with it, if you're done with the wine and you don't have a need for that attractive collectible case, just send it to Royal Sussex, 1440 West Taylor Street, number 523, Chicago, Illinois, 60607. Yes, send it to Royal Sussex, 1440 West Taylor Street, number 523, Chicago, Illinois, 60607. And I'll know just what to do with it. Okay? All right. But feel free to keep the contents. I don't need any more wine. Although, if you want to send the wine, you can. But I don't really need it. Okay. Hey, Hazel. Thank you so much for joining us. Now, tomorrow is happening. Yes, December 1st, Hilton on Toronto, that is, um, Prince Harry at the Powerhouse. Let's get moving. It's the Aurea Powerhouse Canada real estate seminar, something, something, something. And Harry is going to be one of three guest speakers, including Merritt Steele and Mike Schreiner. Yeah. So that's something we can all look forward to. Is our Prince Harry at this real estate thing? And I guess I have been a potty mouth lately. Um, I guess I have been a potty mouth lately. So listen, just be prepared because this is something else for them to, you know, I don't want to say the B word about. This is something else for them to complain about. Okay. I'm not going to use that B word, but you know what I mean. Most people don't use that word outside of a kennel, but Lex says Prince Harry being a motivational speaker is something to behold. They wanted him to be a spare, but the heir cannot compare. He is making moves and they are jealous. Wow, that sounds very Nipsey Russell. I like that. They wanted him to be the spare, but the heir cannot compare. Yes. Yeah, you guys remember Nipsey Russell? Yeah, Nipsey Russell. I think he was what, a comedian? Uh like sometime well, he did all kind of stuff, didn't he? I know he did a lot of variety shows. Nipsey Russell, the Nipsey Russell. And I think he used to do the Hollywood Squares. That sounds like something Nipsey Russell would say. He was also in the movie The Wiz. He played the Tin Man. All right, thank you, Legs. Now, I have a sound bite for you This young lady said what a lot of us have been saying and thinking and feeling for a long time. And I am very grateful to her for putting it plainly. So let me cue that up for you.
Random fun fact on a Tuesday. I've never heard a critique of Meghan Markle that wasn't rooted in racism or misogyny. Have a good night. Bye-bye. Random fun fact on a Tuesday. I've never heard a critique of Meghan Markle that wasn't rooted in racism or misogyny. Have a good night. Bye-bye. Random fun fact on a Tuesday. I've never heard a critique of Meghan Markle that wasn't rooted in racism or misogyny. Have a good night. Bye.
Okay, so 3 times. She says, I have not heard a criticism, a critique of Meghan Markle that was not rooted in misogyny or racism. Not one time has she ever heard a criticism that was not rooted in either of those. So, um, you know what? I can barely see her name there. Let me put that on a bigger screen so I can see it. It is Olivia XX Claire with a C. Can you guys see that? It is Olivia. I tell you what, let me go ahead and put that in the comment because it is kind of hard to. Is that it? Yes, there it is right there. Okay, you can see it right there in the chat. It's Olivia XX Claire. Oh, you know what? It's missing an A, isn't it? Never mind. Hold on. Let me get rid of that. And it should not be capital. Okay, I knew that something's wrong with that. Okay, that's better. And I'll get rid of that one. Okay. So that's her link for the TikTok. So make sure you check it out. That is a link for her TikTok. Simple, powerful words, 9 seconds long. Now, Anna Pasternak, British journalist, on royal family leaking stories against Prince Harry and Meghan, the Duchess of Sussex. You all remember Anna Pasternak? She's the one who wrote that article, Catherine the Great. Remember that article? The one that had the establishment so upset that they threatened to sue the Tatler? Anna Pasternak did exactly what they asked her to do. And she pretty much wrote the article the way they wanted it written. Now, one thing you got to know about Anna is that she was quite the monarchist, quite the royalist. I know this because I saw an exchange between herself and Dr. Shola, right? And I don't know. I'm going to let you listen to this.
And the British monarchy has survived and prospered when other European monarchies has failed is they are utterly ruthless. And their absolute goal is you have to have the spotlight on the monarch and the heir. And anybody else who comes into the picture and takes too much of the oxygen or too much of the limelight, you see is pushed out. We saw it with Diana. We saw it with Fergie. We've seen it with Harry and Meghan. They were too threatening as a unit to Kate and William. the tide turned, and I believe, Harry, that was instigated from within the palace. And you cannot fight the palace narrative. Nothing is leaked without the nod from the principals. For example, the Tightgate story. What's interesting is nobody came out from the palace and backed Meghan's story, and yet they came out and they backed Kate's story. There is definitely no question in the British press an absolute movement to discredit Harry and Meghan and the need to bolster William and Kate. And they have to be sanctified in the press, and they are these saints. I really do feel that Harry was absolutely on the money when he said we had to leave, because once this tsunami of bad press comes against you, it is very, very difficult to rise above that. She is being discredited by the establishment. She is being discredited by the broadsheet press in this country. She hasn't really been given a chance, and it became so toxic for them. I think that they could not access the truth. Harry absolutely knew that, the palace were leaking stories about them, that the narrative had to be, to discredit them in order to refocus the spotlight on William and Kate, that there was an envy after their successful foreign tours. They had star quality as a couple, just as Diana did. The reason the British monarchy has survived and prospered.
Okay. No lies detected. Now, I do have some issues with Anna Pasternak because there was a time when she was quite the royalist. But I think the reason why she is singing from a different hymn book is because she was totally humiliated. When that article came out about, what was it? Catherine the Great. It was in the Tatler, and that is the Bible for all things aristocrat. As the one thing that they look forward to seeing is the Tatler. So Kate said she was tired, and Anna Pasternak just simply told the story such as it was. Also, the article implied that there was a level of dependency that William had with the Middleton family, right? And they used to speak about that all the time, that's as close as William has come to having a real family, right? That has taken the place of the family that was torn apart and all that kind of jazz. And that he spent a lot of time with the Middletons. And for some reason, by the time that article came out, then all of a sudden she became the villain. And after the threat, they made them rewrite the article, taking about 40% of the article away. Now, somehow I managed to find the original article, and I made a video from it where you can hear everything that they wanted removed. And of course, it is all perfectly legal because, after all, they could not grab those articles that were already printed and on the shelf. Okay? So, never mind how I got it. I got it. And I made a video to share it with everyone. Matter of fact, why don't I see if I can find the link for that? But before I do that, I'm going to go ahead and play this other one of Anna Pasternak. This is from 2023. 2023. Also, if Anna Pasternak is listening, I would say that it's about time for her to stop using that Egyptian eyeliner thing. It is so 1960s, okay? She's still doing the Egyptian liner. I think in 2025, 2023 even, we're doing more of a cat eye thing. I'm just saying. It's more of a cat eye, not that whole Egyptian, with that straight line to the back of your scalp. We ain't doing that no more. So anyway, let me cue this up. God, that looks horrible, doesn't it? That looks horrible. Now, she don't look like she work in one of them houses. I don't think they would let her in. Okay, let me get this. Oh,
they'll be brushed aside under the carpet, as Nicholas Witchell said.
Here goes.
Those comments.
Sadly not. I think that they'll be brushed aside under the carpet, as Nicholas Witchell said. Personally speaking, I have never been a tremendous fan of Meghan and Harry, and I thought that the previous episodes were rather self-indulgent and a lot of it was unnecessary. I found myself really staggered by the latest batch of episodes because it seemed to me that Harry is absolutely telling the truth. I think we've learned that there is a far greater level of manipulation from the royal household with the press. It is indeed a dirty game, and I happen to know that the royal households do brief against each other. So I think we've learned that, you know, it all is not what it seems necessarily when the House of Windsor presents a very, you know, above board front. And I think that a lot of what was said in the latest episodes is concerning and also deeply damaging to the monarchy. I also think that Harry was talking the exact truth when he said that, of course, what was problematic for him and Meghan was their star quality and their popularity post their fantastic Australia trip. And, you know, history has shown that if you're not in the direct line of succession and you steal too much oxygen, things don't end well.
Do you think anything will change as a result of any of those comments?
Sadly not. I think that they'll be brushed aside.
Okay. So, I think she was actually referring to the what do you call that? The Spare. I believe it was no, was it Spare? No, or was it the docuseries? I think it was in reference to the docuseries. Now, I did find that particular video. So I'm going to put this in the community post. And I'm going to put Anna Pasternak's name up there so you'll find it easily. But I'm going to post that in the community post. And yeah, and I'm going to put Anna Pasternak's name there. So if you want to see it, the video that I made, of course, that comes from the article which they threatened to sue, and which I just happened to somehow have come across one. And anyway, you know the rest. Okay, so Anna Pasternak. Okay. Okay, so yeah, that's the last thing that I posted. Also, I have Nathan's video before that. So again, please make sure you watch his video and look at the beautiful cinematography. Okay, so there we go. Anna Pasternak was humiliated because she had a book coming out, right? And this is why she has kind of flipped the script, because she had wrote a book, but she could not promote the book because they did not want did not want the press to ask her any questions about the Catherine the Great article. So the I guess the palace or the publisher, whoever it was, they put pressure on her, maybe both, not to speak about, according to her, not to speak about the Catherine the Great article. And they did not want her to go on a press tour to promote her book because they were afraid that somehow it would lead to questions about the Catherine the Great article. So she didn't. And in other words, she lost money. She lost money because she could not promote her new book, allegedly. So the joke is on Anna Pasternak. And so now all of a sudden, she is sounding a little hurt and a little bemused. But anyway, I'm sure she is still a card carrying royalist. Now, Kate Middleton feels exhausted and trapped over enormous workload after Meghan and Prince Harry effectively threw the Cambridge children under the bus by quitting as royals, source tells Tatler. Now, that is from the article that Anna Pasternak wrote. And there on the right side, you can see HRH, the Duchess of Cambridge, is crowned Catherine the Great on the July-August cover. The cover had Catherine the Great on it. That was the stupidest article they could have possibly put out there. Why would you want something like that? They're always trying to use some magazine article or something as a vehicle to elevate Kate's stature. Kate is a big nobody from nowhere. She's in over her head. She lacks charisma. She's not so intelligent. It's just the truth. She is in over her head. She is not the princess, or even worse, she's not queen material. Now, even that alleged drunkard Camilla can hold a decent conversation. You're not going to get much out of Kate. You're just not. She doesn't have anything to say. She is void of anything substantive. Void. And it's just the truth. And everybody knows it. And William is not much better himself. Time and time again, you will find an article here and an article there that express the same concerns. Even on their honeymoon tour, or after their honeymoon, one of the tabloid Royal Rota reporters said, if you cobbled William and Kate together, you still would not have a complete personality. And that's just the truth. It's alarming at how dull they are. They're awkward and disingenuous. And everybody knows it. And then, even worse, to try to compensate for his inept abilities, William has the nerves to have a temper problem. He has a nerve to have rage issues. And then, of course, Kate likewise likes to throw those cold, steely stares at everybody, like somebody's afraid of her. Again, useless. Those are two of the most useless individuals that have ever drawn a breath. And they are going to be the collapse of the monarchy. They don't know anything. They don't want to know anything. They show up so that people can applaud and wave. That's it. They do not care about the work. They do not care about people. They only care about themselves. They only do whatever brings attention. And Anna Pasternak, she deserves exactly what she got, because she had the nerves to sit up there and argue with Dr. Scholler. It was for, I believe, one of the breakfast shows, BBC Breakfast, I think it was. And she was telling Dr. Scholler that there's no way that Harry and Meghan can still remain royal and not be senior members of the royal family any longer. In other words, non-working royal, as they like to call it. And so Dr. Scholler said, well, how do you know? I know because I know how the British royal family works. But Dr. Scholler said, but you're not royal. And she just kept saying, oh, but I know how it works. But you're not royal. And so her parting words was something to the effect that Harry and Meghan cannot possibly, anyway, it does not matter because the Duchess of Sussex and Prince Harry have proved her wrong. When they went to Nigeria, what did they call it? A royal tour. When they went to Colombia, a royal tour. When they went to New York the first time, a royal tour. I mean, they were falling over themselves trying to figure out what are we supposed to call this because it caught them off guard. When they saw the police escort, when they saw the security, when they saw all the trappings of a royal visit, they know just as well as anybody that that makes it a royal tour. And they are royal. Now, that may be inconvenient to them, and they could take titles all they want. They will still be royal. Meghan is still going to be a princess of the realm. You take that Duchess of Sussex because she'll just be Princess Meghan. Nobody's going to call her Princess Henry. She will be princess. See, all of these reporters, eventually, they get burned. They get burned. For all of their dirty deeds and such, they get burned. They're never going to get rich. And it will be a cold day in hell before they get a chance to get that gravy train on American television. Especially during an election year, they really have no possible way to get that gravy train that Omid Scobie had. And of course, what's that squeaky girl's name? Oh, Victoria Arbiter. You know, the one with that horrible high pitched voice. That one. They won't have an opportunity to make that kind of money again because nobody's interested. The height of coverage for the royals since Princess Diana's mysterious, untimely passing, the only time that they've had that kind of fever pitch coverage was because of Meghan. And since nobody is really interested in their hate and criticism of Meghan, it just does not sell on American television. It does not. Even Fox News doesn't want it. Nobody's interested in that kind of stuff. That is something that is okay for, I guess, Australian television, for British television. You know, as long as there's a Sky News or something like that, then you're going to have people that are interested. But we're not part of the Commonwealth. We don't care. Charles is not our king, and William will never be. So it just does not sell over here. Let's see. Phyllis Johnson, thank you so much for the super sticker, and thank you for watching Royal Sussex. The nerves of these people. You know, if they had positive things to say about Meghan, they would make money here. Do you guys remember when the tabloid reporters, they used to do this thing where they had one voice for British television and another voice for American television? But enter the Sussex squad, who were calling them out on social media. And you do realize that the social media for the individual networks, they were hearing our voices exposing the British tabloid media for their nasty coverage of Meghan. I mean, I want you to take a look at this. Now, there are not the same amount of white women in the UK. I mean, there are white women in the UK who will call out the racism, but not at the rate that you will get that in the US. This is an American woman who just called out, or she may be Canadian, who just called out the racism as far as Meghan is concerned. And it's not isolated. There's a lot of people, even in the media, who will identify it as exactly that. And again, the big difference is we don't have that kind of obligation to the royal family. We did not grow up with those people. The only royal that everybody knows, or should I say the only royals, is Harry, the Queen, Charles, and Harry's brother. And of course, for the worst reasons, Camilla. How many tours of the US have Camilla had since she's become queen? Even before queen, how many tours of the US has she had? She ought to be afraid to, because there's too many memories of Diana here. And because of that, Charles doesn't even come over here that much. When's the last time Charles came to the US after Diana? Not quite often, has it been? And for good reason. This is Diana territory. And Harry is the embodiment of Diana, not William. William is a big disappointment. When William and Kate come over here, believe me, all of that stuff from Spare is going to come up again. All of the things from the docuseries is going to come up again. And they're not going to have such a great time. Their trip to Boston was so lackluster. They haven't been back since, either one of them. Oh, I take it back. William went to New York that one time. But otherwise, nothing. William stayed within, a couple of blocks of Ground Zero? He didn't really do anything else. And just think about it. The crowd that gathered, they thought Harry was there. They thought Harry was there. And it was just a bunch of tourists. They thought it was Harry. Why? Because he went to the same firehouse Harry went to. It wasn't without a strategy, trust me. So, yeah, Anna Pasternak, you reap what you sow. Now, Kate Middleton remains hurt and upset by Tatler article and never saw it coming because Society Bible editor Richard Denon is a close friend of St. Andrews from St. Andrews, and the pair holidayed together twice, reports claim. That just make it that much worse, don't it? And then over there on the left, you can see Kate was stung by the Queen's unpalatable criticism. I think it was, that's right there. It is right there. That was that little exchange that the two of them had. Look at her. Look at how she's looking. I bet she's looking to someone sympathetic in the distance, trying to gain the courage to go up against Dr. Scholler, which I would not wish on my worst enemy, by the way. Yeah, something's wrong with her. You can look at her eyes and tell she ain't all together there. Police officer found not guilty. You see that? The police officer that ran over the old lady with the Sophie motorcade was found not guilty, and the family has been speaking out. They have been speaking out. They said that this poor woman was injured in such a way that it's really a testament to her strength, her core strength, that she survived for 2 weeks. Multiple broken bones, lots of bruising, and somehow she survived for 2 weeks. And they were hoping that this officer would be held accountable. And that's only because he did not acknowledge his mistake the first time around. He denied that he did anything wrong. Now, they said the officer was traveling between 40 to, I don't know, 40 to like 58 miles per hour in a zone designated for 30 miles an hour. And that is where this poor woman was mowed down by Sophie's motorcade. And her brother, and I think that may be her daughter. Oh, anyway, her family, they want answers. Or is that her son? I don't know. But her family wants answers. This poor woman was in great health, which is one of the reasons why she survived such an impact. They said she was knocked about 40 feet across the intersection. She had to sign to walk. And the officer that clobbered her said he forgot to turn on his camera. Now, I do not believe that. I would like to see a forensic examination of the equipment. But this poor woman was completely shattered by that event. I asked the question again, what was the flipping hurry? What was the hurry? Why were they so anxious to get to this afternoon tea? It is really hard to understand. But somehow, this poor woman was mowed down as she crossed the street. And there will be absolutely no accountability. They are planning to sue the police, though. They are planning to sue. Multiple injuries. And it's not the first time. Moment police car driving Sophie Wessex turned to hit receptionist car before driving away to leave her with a repair bill of several £100s. They hit her car and they kept driving. No one checked to see if she was okay or anything. The 59-year-old claims it was being driven by a sergeant, apparently with Sophie, Countess of Wessex, as a passenger. What is the hurry? She's not essential. There's nothing about Sophie that's essential. Not to the royal family, not to the people of the United Kingdom, and certainly not to the manufacturer of designer clothing, especially not the clothing couturiers or whatever, certainly not to them. If anything, she's to the detriment of the fashion industry. The obsession with Hollywood stars is weird. They sent their minions to attack Harry and Meghan and make them look like they were thirsty for Hollywood celebrities to notice them, when in reality, Kate and William are obsessed with being noticed by celebrities. Miserable clowns. Well, one of the squatties is calling out this whole Christmas concert because, after all, they are planning to have some Hollywood stardust spread around so that people might actually watch it. You know, they have to do this because if Meghan, and Meghan will get incredible ratings for her Christmas special, but the idea that Meghan is going to outdo, Mumbles is more than they could stomach. Sussex Soldier says Kate can't, I'm sorry, Kate can, but Meghan can't. Kate is allowed, but Meghan isn't. Kate gets hand, what is that, for oh wait, applause, that is, for the same thing they attacked Meghan for, Hollywood stars. It's good that Meghan ignores their BS, and I can't wait to see her cameo in the upcoming comedy Close Personal Friends. Ooh, yeah. I almost forgot we got that to look forward to. Legs is saying what a lot of people are thinking. Who was actually in that car? It may have been a matter, allegedly, possibly, that they are using Sophie as a cover for someone else who was actually being raced around town in that motorcade. I mean, how would we know? Sounds a bit fishy, if you know what I mean. Um, Once again, I'd like to share these images with you. I found a couple of more of these images to share. As you can see, the Queen is none too happy with Kate. Kate decides to show up on their outing looking like she works for Air Slovenia. Um, one of those airlines from the First Lady's home country. She looks like an air hostess for Air Slovenia. They are still flying those DC-3s. Yes, those turbo prop. The entire airline consists of aircraft that never made it back from the Second World War. That is what makes up their airline. And that's what Kate looks like she's dressed up for, is Air Slovenia. I mean, look at that. The Queen is very unhappy. And look at Kate with that very vacant look in her eyes. You see that? See how vacant that look is? Lights on, nobody's home. It is. It is quite a haunting, vacant stare. One has to wonder, does she even understand what's going on right now? Not, probably not. All she's thinking about is her hair and how short her skirt is, and is anybody looking? That's all she cares about. Whereas Meghan is the very model of dignity and respectability. As you can see, the Duchess of Sussex had enough wisdom to wear something modest in the presence of the Supreme Governor of the Church of England. Kate, not so much. And contrary to that ridiculous article that came out saying that the Queen had taken Meghan on a tour too soon, I think the Queen is in her element. She is quite happy, very animated. No mistakes made, I'm sure. She even wore the same color that she wore to the wedding. How interesting. Huh. Agatha Christie writing her next novel. Yes, there's Agatha Christie, also known as Angela, Living Troll Doll Levin. Horrible person. Yeah. I I think her pen name should be Agatha Christie. I think that is perfect for her. Anyway, Agatha Christie. They say a broken clock is right at least twice a day. Have you heard that before? Now, even though I have compared her to a living troll doll and a horrible person, see what I mean? Even though I have compared her to a troll doll, um, they say everyone has some good quality about them. Yes, I may have referred to her as Miss Magoo. not Mrs., because I couldn't imagine anybody would want to marry her, but Ms. Magoo, because of those really thick glasses that she wears when she's not pretending to have 20/20 vision. I mean, look at those glasses. Her glasses are like jelly jar bottoms. You see there? That looks like someone just cut the bottom off of a jelly jar or a Coke bottle. Real thick, real thick. And she does look like Mr. Magoo. If they were casting the movie Mr. Magoo, they could easily have her play Mr. Magoo's mother. Yeah, she could play Mr. Magoo's mother. I wouldn't say wife because she's far too old for that. But yes, Ms. Magoo. So this is what I'm speaking of right here. A broken clock is right at least twice a day. It says here, um, they were not booted away from the royal garden party. I was there and I saw it all. It was an early party for the then Prince Charles's birthday and only a couple of days after their wedding. I was told they would only be there for 45 minutes as they didn't want to take the limelight away. Harry made a very warm speech, a short, warm, short speech. They left at the time they said. So this salty Duchess was trying to make a fuss. Remember when Meghan and Harry got famously booted from the royal garden party? She was told to make sure she did not leave wearing the gold bracelet. Well, the thing is, they said they were leaving at a particular time so that they would not draw too much attention as newlyweds from Charles and his emotional support, Camilla. So I cannot believe that she set the record straight without adding any shadiness, but um, there's Agatha Christie for you. Sometimes you just don't know what's going to come out of her mouth. Okay, so William with his foot and mouth disease, poor William, he couldn't help it. He was born with a silver foot in his mouth. William has been working so hard to try and outdo his brother. And as you can see here, Prince William moved by the courage of child evacuees from Gaza. You see that? Prince Harry donates 500,000 to help wounded children in Ukraine and Gaza. So because Harry did that, William did this. Okay. William's visit was only in response to Harry donating a very large amount of money. I mean, $500,000. That's $500,000. The very poor, destitute Sussexes actually are able to donate $500,000 to a worthy cause because they are so poor, right? They are so downtrodden, so poor, so destitute that they were able to donate a large sum of money. Now, William is sitting on top of $1 billion duchy, but he dares not do anything like that because once you start, this is why they don't like to give any quotes when they donate money. They'll just say substantial, right? Once you start doing that, it is going to open up the floodgates. And I'm pretty sure they are terrified that something like that could really lead to more conversations about money. And that's the last thing that they want to do. Plus, let's face it, um, the sovereign and the heir to the throne, they are better taking money in than ever giving any money away. I mean, just think about it. Charles and William both were charging rent to the military, to the public safety, the air ambulance. They were charging rentals, especially when you consider Charles being the sovereign and let's say the military, which, is the royal this and royal that. They are acting in your name, and yet you or your duchy and you are charging rent for space that would go unused anyway. That's what gets me, is that there was no other commercial viability for most of these places that they rented, including a dock. Okay? There weren't many people looking to pay for the use of that. But Charles and William, they were making not-for-profit organizations pay, public service pay for the privilege, even though everything that they do is in their names. That's why I say they don't really want to start a conversation about money. They'd rather avoid that at all costs. But it doesn't matter, because there is more murmuring about why Charles is not paying more tax. There was no inheritance tax on the huge financial windfall that comes with being king. There was no inheritance tax on the huge financial windfall that comes with being Prince of Wales. So both of them have managed to pull in all of this money, all of this privilege. For Charles, this is the second time in his life that he's had this opportunity, as he was once Prince of Wales. And both of them have the caucasity to accept this and give very little. So even if William gave £500,000, or the equivalent of $500,000, that is a drop in the bucket for someone who has $1 billion duchy. They generate so much revenue. Now, officially, William gets like, what, 23 million pounds a year? How poor do people have to be before they decide, we can sell a few of these and a few of those? But really, the only thing they ever do is put up, what, a Range Rover for auction or something like that. Rarely do they let go of anything. When people really stop and examine how greedy that institution is, it is really going to change the way people feel about the monarchy. Right now, as they say, whoever controls the message controls the people. And they do have a firm chokehold on the tabloid media, but that's not always going to be. And especially with social media, I'll put it to you like this. We are having conversations lately about a country about the size of New Jersey in the Middle East that I never thought possible. We're having those conversations. I never thought that was possible. There are people leaving that country about the size of New Jersey in the Middle East because of these conversations. Because all of a sudden, because the truth has surfaced, they don't feel as empowered as they used to feel. And so by the hundreds of thousands, they're leaving. Now, if that could happen to the country we dare not speak of, about the size of New Jersey in the Middle East, what do you think will happen to that institution when something like a TikTok really starts to talk about things? What do you think is going to happen to them? Does William have what it takes to keep them? Because the youth are not interested in that institution, especially an institution that is leaning so far to the right when most people in this world are really left of center. Time is not on their side. And eventually the truth is going to surface, which is why I think they really ought to consider how they treat people, especially the Sussexes. They really ought to give that consideration. As a group, the best educated group in the United States are Black women, the best educated, more degrees on average. And most of those women, I would say, identify with Rachel Meghan Markle. And because of that, there's a Sussex squad. That's power. That is power. Not so big in numbers, but in terms of ability, unstoppable. And that is why they work so hard to try and disparage Meghan whenever they can. Because, yeah, the British tabloid media is very powerful. The royal family is very powerful. But they are up against they're up against a giant when it comes to Black women in this country. That's why they made such an effort to remove Black women from the federal government. I mean, there were so many of those agencies in Washington were being managed and operated by Black women, and that was kind of scary to the powers that be. So, if I was the royal family, I would take that and give it a lot of consideration. But I really do think their days are numbered. I really do. There is still going to be a royal family, and there are going to still be people that respect that institution. But real questions are being asked right now, and it has nothing to do with people in the US. And what's going to really change things is social media. There right now, that family is paying a lot of money to control the message on social media. A lot of money. We saw that with all those bots in Nigeria and Poland and places like that, places where that type of support should not be, because they're paying a lot of money for it. They're paying for people to push their narrative, to do everything they can to tear down the Sussexes. There was only one type of woman that was going to get Harry out of that institution, and that's who he married. So, Prince William plans to bring lasting peace to the Middle East. Prince William pledges to make the Middle East peace his lifelong project, only for someone like Amanda Platel to say, don't lecture us all about Gaza. William, Just tell us how Kate is. Now, listen, you know I don't like Amanda Playtell, but that was a very veiled threat right there because Amanda Playtell, she knows what's up with Kate. A lot of people in the tabloid media, they know what William's story is and they know what Kate's story is. And so this very snarky headline is designed to intimidate. It is designed to intimidate. As Harry said, they're trapped and they are afraid of the media. I wonder what would happen if the tabloid media and social media were both going after the royal family. How long do you think they would last? How long would there be a monarchy such as we know it? Not long. Not long. And the only way that they keep the tabloid media happy is with access. It's a symbiotic relationship. They're codependent. If I could borrow that overused um, psychological phrase from the 80s, they're codependent. Not co-equals, codependent. Let's see. Israelis react with a mix of indifference and irritation to the rare political intervention from Prince William calling for an end to the fighting in Gaza. Make peace with your brother, Israelis shrug off Prince William's ceasefire plea. You see there? He was in over his head. But why would he do that? Why would he talk about stuff that he don't know much about? You know why? Harry, reacting to Harry's numerous successes. So, of course, William, in a panic, thought, I need to do some busy work. I need to do something very adult. I think I'm going to talk about peace. You see that other one? Terrible blunder or inspired intervention. How Prince William waded into politics. That's a big no-no. That is a big no-no. The Sussexes can do that because they're no longer tethered by that status of working royal, something that was made up just for them. Let's see. Will's Middle East piece is my life mission. Well, you better unmission it. How about that one? Wills intervenes in Gaza row. And then just for fun, I threw this in here. I remain deeply concerned about the terrible human cost of the conflict in the Middle East since, October 7th. But notice the cipher. Now, one of the squaddies took time to fill it in for us because at the time when this was released, Kate Middleton was still missing. And William did not make things any better by using the cipher that he used before they were married. You see there? That is his personal cipher. That is not done after one is married to the love of their life, to the future queen. But he did it. And instead of we, I remain deeply concerned. I, like so many others, I continue to cling to hope. I refuse to give up on that. I, when it really should have been we. But there is no we because at the time, I do believe that he was plotting to remove the future queen from her position. But after much intervention from the institution. I think the song was "It's cheaper to keep her. It's cheaper to keep her." Remember that song? It's cheaper to keep her. It's cheaper to keep her. Because to get rid of her, the cost would be too high and it would threaten the the institution's future. So they said, Willie, listen, boy, it is cheaper to keep her. So essentially, he is stuck. He is stuck, and there's no way out. He is stuck with Kate, and she with him, because her family paid too much, invested too much to put the two of them together for her to ever walk away. They're stuck. They're stuck in a loveless marriage. He has to watch her do all that weird stuff with her hands. She has to watch him dress up like a Mitchum roll-on deodorant bottle. They're miserable. And then, of course, he has to walk next to a living windsock. Very unpleasant future. And then, of course, there's the wandering eye. Whatever. Prince Harry shocked Ukraine trip set to deepen William's feud after Palace Fury. They didn't even try to hide it. Everybody wanted, well, actually, William wanted everyone to know how angry he was, how incandescent with rage he is. Now, there's no reason why this had to be public. They're more than capable of shutting down things when they want to. But William, the only way that he can really seem strong is to be framed as angry and incandescent with rage. That is something that a person does when they are lacking personality, when they don't naturally receive respect for their accomplishments. They have to go rogue and play angry all the time. What's eating William? Now, A.N. Wilson wrote an article trying to remind William what's expected of a future king. William wants to walk away from the Church of England. William wants to be royal with a small r. He really wants to be Harry. I hope you guys understand that. The move to this new house is to give a very similar layout to Montecito. Now, I'm sure you're wondering, how is that possible? There's no palm trees and such. Trust me, by the time they're finished with that house, Kate is going to be out in the garden. She's going to be cutting flowers and setting tables. Remember, they said Kate was buying that big, long dining room table? What do you think that was about? Now, they could always entertain over at Windsor, but they want to do something domestic. They want to do something in that house. I believe that house is going to find its place in magazines and such so that they can pretend like they're the Sussexes. That's what I believe. I mean, we've already seen Kate on all fours raking her hand wearing a diamond and sapphire ring through soil so she can plant those flowers at time. But I think that that's in the works, that they're going to somehow rebrand her as a alternative to Meghan. Not sure how they're going to work that out, but I do believe that that's in the works. Prince William's fury at Harry's surprise visit to Ukraine war zone. So what did he do? All of a sudden, he's photographed wearing a uniform to remind people of his experience with the military. Prince William wasn't very close to Queen Elizabeth for decades, but their relationship evolved from formal to warm. That's a lie. They were never close, and even when the Queen died, they still were not close. William should have spent time with his grandmother before she slipped away from here so he can learn some things that he did not know before she left this world. But instead of being by her side when she was taking a turn for the worse, he was in Windsor. Now, Charles did go to Scotland, but he was preparing for a NBC News something. The only person that was by the Queen's side was Afro Annie. No one else in that family cared to be by her side. Harry, of course, was prohibited from being by her side. We all know that. But no one else in that family besides Afro Annie was there. 70 years on the throne, you would think that William and his father, the future king, would want to be there. No, there was no reason why they were not there. I think anybody who has a parent, on their way to their glory could take some time off. And even when they sent for Charles, he went out and foraged mushrooms rather than to be there when she took her last breath. And I'm sure the person who went out for him addressed him as Your Majesty, finally. That is a cold family, isn't it? Cold, frigid. And then, of course, take a look over here. Some fear malign forces are trying to drive a wedge between King and his heir. Here's the truth. Now, Rebecca English, whenever they dispatch Rebecca English to clean up things, Rebecca English likes to explain the unexplainable. I don't even know what the article said, and I don't really care. I already know what it says. What it says is that someone besides Charles and William are responsible for the lack of connection between the two of them. They're going to blame other people. Well, I think you could probably start with the courtiers. And of course, along with the courtiers, you might as well throw Camilla in there. But let's face it, William was rarely seen one-on-one with his grandmother. I think that when he was of the age when he did not have to go, he just did not go. And the same with his father. He does not spend time with his father. But when the time comes, they're going to try to find some kind of way to make it about Harry, which is what they've been doing, saying Harry has driven a wedge between father and son. William is the wedge. William and Kate have become the prince and princess of boring. Now, that's another warning from Amanda Playtell. Amanda Playtell wasn't really trying to applaud Harry. What she was doing was trying to remind Will and Kate to get out there and be seen. To get out there and be seen. Now, this is busy work time of year. After the first of the year, they're going to disappear. After Christmas, they're going to take their Christmas vacation, right? And then you're not going to see them for a long time. And then by March, it's Commonwealth Day again. What about the BAFTA Awards? When is that? Is that before Commonwealth? because the last time they didn't go to the BAFTA Awards, they went to the Caribbean. So I think they'll probably do that again. I agree. I agree. Um, and a lot of that is also the Queen's fault, but still, um, Harry was the only one. Harry, and I'm going to say Harry and Princess Anne. I want to say that they were the most um, concerned about the Queen. I'm going to say that those two were the most concerned about the Queen because Princess Anne made it a point to be there. And Princess Anne does not have to kiss up to Charles. Her position is firm. Charles doesn't really have any power over her. And I would imagine William won't either. They need Princess Anne more than she needs them. And everybody knows that. Prince William is set to assume the role of global. I'm sorry, I can never say that without laughing. Prince William is set to assume the role of global statesman, which will see him travel the world to represent Britain abroad. William trip to Poland last week was a key staging post for a new position. Now, let me ask you this. Since he went to Poland, how many places has he gone? Has he traveled the world? And let me see, that was in March of 2023. Has he traveled the world? Has William traveled the world? He went to Poland, right? And famously, whilst in Poland, he found a pulled pork sandwich, right? He found the famous pulled pork sandwich. He looked at the menu for that bistro, that LGBTQ bistro. Not that he needed the the menu. He just did that to be polite. He had already memorized exactly what he wanted. And trust me, William is a man who knows exactly what he wants. And he wanted a pulled pork sandwich. And that's exactly what he got. He traveled thousands of miles to get it, but he got it. So let's see. He went to the Vatican, even though he didn't want to go. Remember, he did not really want to go. He went to, where was that in Asia he went to? But that was because of Earth Flop. And he went to Brazil for Earth Flop. But other than that, he hasn't really been anywhere. Now, that's over 2 years of global statesman, and he hasn't even been anywhere. So that's a nice aspiration to have, but so far he hasn't okay, he went to New York and Boston, right? Boston was a big flop, but he did go to New York. That didn't go so well either because he did not make it into the UN. And plus, when he was sitting over at the ambassador's apartment, I believe the one person, who was that he wanted to show up and they didn't come. Also, Eric Adams faked him out at the firehouse. So, yeah, that was a failure. Yeah, that didn't go so well. Now, the Daily Telegraph, Meghan's spending too much. The late Queen's angry phone call with Harry revealed. Now, this was something Robert, gasping for air, where is my CPAP? Jobson said. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. They said Harry called and interrupted the Queen's tea, and the Queen supposedly rolled her eyes, saying that it was about money. They are still pushing this narrative that Charles paid for Meghan's clothes. I wish the Sussexes would finally put this one to bed. I really do. I don't know if they even realize that there are people saying that Meghan was dressed by Charles. But if that is not true, then they need to put this one to bed because it's not so often that people speak about it, but still, I think it's an ugly lie. And it makes Meghan seem like she was needy in terms of material things. But that is what the conversation um, was about Meghan's spending. And I just don't think that was a factor. This is more of that revisionist history, and it has no bearing in the actual reality of things. So let's see. Not My King says Meghan's spending too much. The late Queen, the woman who spent £12 million on a person her son never met. I'm saying a person. You can see what it says there. Too soon to judge this woman, right? Mm-hmm. And that is an excellent point. That is a great point. No matter what happened, whether Charles spent a nickel on Meghan or a dime, it does not matter when you look at the big picture. Meghan did not wear $12 million worth of clothes. One of the reasons why I find this so hard to believe is because at the time, Kate's wardrobe came out of the allowance given to them by Charles, right? And you see how she was dressing. So, what is the chances that Charles was spending more money on Meghan than he was spending on Kate? That's what makes it hard to believe. Because if they were spending a lot of money on Kate, either she was putting money in her pocket or it just wasn't that much money. Kate does not dress like someone who has an unlimited budget. She is routinely outdressed by Queen Letizia, Queen Maxima, and even that old broad in Belgium outdresses Kate. So that's why I find it hard to believe. If Charles was actually the source of Meghan's wardrobe, then I believe Meghan would have been looking just as well. Probably not, because Meghan knows how to shop, but still, Kate does not seem like she has unlimited funds. If it's not for a state occasion, they just don't really spend a lot of money on her. But who knows? Maybe she gives some of that money to her family, her mom and dad and such. That failure brother of hers. Needled. Christmas tree shoppers in Windsor forced to drive an extra mile to avoid William and Kate's new mansion. Well, they done it again. They done it again. They done got on the nerves of their new neighbors. Will and Kate's security bubble is interfering with the way of life in Windsor again. Those people who have lived there most of their lives, have invested in that area most of their lives, have been interrupted yet again. For many, going to pick up a Christmas tree is one of the best festive traditions, but for families hoping to get theirs at a shop close to Prince and Princess of Wales' new Windsor mansion, it might turn into a nightmare before Christmas this year. And why? Because they have to go all the way around to avoid driving past the Wales's house. They are literally blocking a road so that people do not interfere with their privacy. Now, I done just about heard it all now. So that's the new route. You see how the new route is? You got to go all the way up the A332 and then bank a turn and go around. I mean, ain't nobody got time for that. Ain't nobody got time for that. But they got to make time because of Will and Gate. You see, it just goes from bad to worse with those two. Oh, look at that. There's some cones in the road up ahead. See those orange cones? And then, of course, when they get there, they're going to tell them, oh, you can't go this direction because of Will and Kate. You got to go all the way around there. Only for the driver to tell them,
ain't nobody got time for that.
Yeah. Ain't nobody got time for that.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
They ain't got time for that. But unfortunately for Will and Kate, they're going to have to make time. You're going to have to suffer through the humiliation and inconvenience because Will and Kate want their privacy.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Okay. So anyway, that's enough of that institution. Here's a personality test. If you enter this room, which chair would you sit in? Pick a chair. I'll reveal who you are. Now, I don't have the answers for this, but I'm just curious to see which chair you're going to take. The person who posted this didn't seem to feel like we needed the answers. I already know which one I would take. You know, because I'm so butch, I already know which one I would take. Me and my type A personality. Actually, I don't even know what a type A personality is, but which chair would you take? Oh, okay. Sandra Hazel say number 5, huh? Let me see if I can find the answers for this. Oh, I do have it. Okay, now it says seat number 5, chosen by those who are introverted and prefer to stay out of the spotlight. Okay. Let me see what other numbers we have here. Oh, wow, you knew the answer already. Okay, if you take seat number 2, favored by collaborators who value harmony in a group setting. If you take number 3, attracts protectors who are often seen as bodyguards or security conscious. Seat number 4, chosen by analysts who are detail-oriented and prefer to observe from a distance. And we already said number 5, the introvert, prefers to stay out of the spotlight. Number 6, appeals to optimists who are often try to fit in the spirit of others. Try to lift the spirit of others. Appeals to optimists who often try to lift the spirit of others. Oh, that's number 6, huh? Now, if you take seat number 7, that means selected by mediators who work to find common ground or resolve conflicts. That's not me. I just don't want to be bothered. Number 8, chosen by those who are energetic and enjoy motivating others. And number 9, favored by silent observers who prefer to listen and take everything in before contributing. So that is what your personality types are based on the seats that you take. Now, see, I'm looking at another thing, and they seem to have a whole nother idea. Like number 5 says, mindset, assertive and bold, meeting role, fully engaged, not afraid to challenge authority, traits, strong-willed and self-assured voices, opinion, confidently, inner voice. I have something to say, and I'll stand by it. Huh. Now, see, there's a whole nother thing for that. Let me see if I can find something else different. I mean, I see a lot of these for this same test. Here's another one that says number 5, directly opposite of the leader, confident, challenger, assertive, bold. Now, see, I would have chose number 5 because I would not want anybody too close to me. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't want the person next to me to start talking to me. Yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't want to sit in one of those middle seats. I would be more comfortable at the end. So whoever came up with this, I get why they would say, "Oh, wait a minute. Wait. You know what? Um, where the hell is number 5?" Now this is a whole nother layout here. You know what, guys? I tell you what. This is what I'm going to do. You could research this yourself. If you know how to search out the images, right? If you know how to do that, I'm going to put it up here. A better picture than this one is what I'm going to go for. Because you know what? In some of these, the people are number 5 is where the guy is sitting instead of, how it is in this one. Oh, you know what? I'm not going to put the picture. I'm just going to put this here. This is how you can search for it. Check the chat. It says personality trait by chair choice. So if you search that, I'm pretty sure you'll find this layout. A bunch of them, actually. Yeah, you'll find a bunch of those. But you could screenshot this one if you want to find this particular one. But there's a bunch of things on the internet about which chair you sit in. I never knew that was a thing until now. Oh, I know. I'll put it in the no, I'll do it here. There we go. All right, take a screenshot of that, and then you can do your own research. Have you guys tried that ginger ale? Oh, by the way, you guys, I'm done. So if you need to go do some other stuff, I'm just got a couple of little things I'm sharing right now, but I'm done with all the royal stuff. Okay, so you guys got that? I'm going to switch to another picture. Okay, if all humans suddenly lost the ability to lie, what industry would collapse first? I repeat, if all industries suddenly if all humans suddenly lost the ability to lie, what industry would collapse first? Now, the first thing I thought of was the tabloid media. I thought the tabloid media, but you know what? That might actually help them if they just tell the flipping truth. I think it would do them more good than harm. So I won't say the media. Mary H says the government. Wait, where is that at? Customer service. You know what? I got some flowers for you. I love that. Customer service. Yeah, I love that. Customer service would collapse. Ah, Hazel says legal. I like that too. Trust in me for all you do. Have the faith I have in you, and love will see us through. If only you trust in me. That's a Etta James song. Trust in me for all you do. Have the faith I have in you, and love will see us through. If only you trust in me. Okay. Oh, religion. You know what? Some of these churches, I agree. If some of these churches, because I tell you, if there's one thing that makes me sad, and that is the corruption in organized religion. That really makes me sad because that is something that I think would really be able to lift society. But instead, as Martin Luther King said, Sunday is the most, actually, Martin Luther King said the most segregated place in America is church on Sunday. That's what Martin Luther King said. That is the most segregated place is church. Let me see. Hey, Ingrid Soares, thank you so much for being here. And thank you for being a member of Royal Sussex. Speaking of members, Jerry White, I have not given her numbers. She's unable to comment, but she only listens. And I haven't told her how long she's been a member for a while. And I'm just hoping she will listen to this. And I'm going to look it up right now so I can see how long has Jerry White been a member of Royal Sussex. Total time as member. Lydia Washington, 52 months. Patricio Marcel, 51. Lisa Thomas, 51. Church Nelly, 51. Elaine Parker, 50. Khalil Mellon or Mullane, 50. Kay Castillo, 50. Nikki Griffith, 50. Helena, 49. I'm sorry, Helene, not Helena. Okay, let me go to before I lose track. Wow, there's some members that have only been here for 4 days, 6 days, 8 days, 10 days. That's because of a couple of squatties that were nice enough to buy memberships for a few people. Okay. Wow, Dorothy Ross, 46 months. Okay, Geraldine White, 43 months. 43. Nope. Yes. Yeah, 43 months membership. Wow, that's a long time. Dina Cardosa. I mean, it's quite a few people that's been here for over 40 months. Joan Garcia, 47 months. Wow. I tell you, if I had to listen to me for 47 months straight, I think I would be as cuckoo as a cuckoo bird. I don't know how y'all do it. I don't know how y'all do it. How do you listen to me day in and day out? I don't get it. I mean, I'm glad because I love to be able to express myself. I am definitely a talker, but I just don't know how you all do that. Okay. Can you see the hidden number? This is an eye test. Can you see the hidden number? Wow, you know the weird thing is I think you could also turn that upside down, but excuse me. Can you see the hidden numbers? 8960, 8960. Yeah, that's what I see is 8960. So I'm just going to guess it is 8960. If you see anything else, go ahead and put it down there. Because sometimes you think that's it, but it might be something more. I tell you, it also helps if you kind of move your head left and right, you know, kind of rock from side to side. That kind of helps expose the numbers. All I need is someone like you, my dearest darling. Please love me true. In my world, nothing can keep us apart. Ooh, my dearest darling, I offer you my heart. Now I got Etta James stuck in my head. Yeah, Etta James had some really nice songs that you may have never heard. Okay. Without drugs and alcohol, what is the best way to escape reality? Without drugs and alcohol, what's the best way to escape reality? Anybody? What is the best way to escape reality without chemicals? Reading. Good answer. Good answer. Thank you, Sandra. Look at me, I'm Sandra D. Remember that from Grease, the movie Grease? A fast car. Oh, Heather Stroud. Now you see, you never really know a person. Heather Stroud wants a sports car to get away. Let me see, or to escape, should I say? Compton Caligal says sleep, and Jari says vacation. Oh, I like that one. Prayer. Okay, Wendy, prayer. Sleeping. Penny Wiseman says sleeping. You had a fast car, and I had a ticket to anywhere. I had to make a decision, and I had a feeling that I belonged, and I had to be someone, be someone. You had a fast car. Okay, let me see. I agree reading. Me looking at horror movies. I love horror movies. Okay, Mary H. Again, you never really know people. I would have never thought about Stephen Kinging my way out of a, a boring situation, but to each their own. Now, I will agree with you about that, though. A movie. I'm surprised no one else said that beside you, but I think a movie is a great way to escape, especially a period piece movie. Speaking of escapes, you guys, do you know that Emily in Paris is coming back this month, December? Emily in Paris is coming back. I don't think you guys heard me. I said Emily in Paris is coming back. I am so excited. You had a fast car. And I had a feeling that I belonged. And I had to be someone, be someone. I love that song, though. That is a great song. You had a fast car, and I had a ticket to anywhere. Maybe we can make a deal. Maybe together we can go somewhere. Any place is better than staring from zero. Oh no, starting from zero. Got nothing to lose. I don't really know how that song goes. I'm looking at the lyrics. And I got a feeling that I belong. Be someone, be someone. Anyone read fantasy novels? I don't think I ever have, although I love sci-fi, but fantasy novel? Um, Give me a title that became a movie so I can make sure I understand what fantasy novel is. Is that like anything to do with sci-fi? Oh, you saw the trailer for Emily in Paris? I cannot wait. Oh, I think I'm out of interesting questions. That was the last one. I just had these four. Oh, well, that's unfortunate. I was hoping I had at least one more. Let me see if I can find something else because I can see 470 people are not ready to go. I kind of not ready to go either. Let me see. I'm going to look for something interesting that we can talk about. Uh-oh, four girls are in a room. Clary is playing chess. Maria is watching TV. Anna is asleep. What is the fourth girl doing? Who knows? I don't know. Who cares? Okay, hold on. I'm going to put it on the screen so you can visualize it better. Okay, give me a second. I will put it on the screen so you can visualize it better. And then you can tell me what the fourth girl is doing. There we go. So, oh, Lord of the Rings. Okay. Yeah, I don't think I've ever read anything like that before. Oh, my goodness. My singing woke you up? Oh, I love that. I ain't got the change of a nickel. Ain't got no bounce in my shoes. Ain't got no fancy to tickle. I ain't got nothing but the blues. Ain't got no coffee that's perkin'. Ain't got no feelings to bruise. Ain't got a dream that is working. I ain't got nothing but the blues. When trumpets blare up, I keep my hair up. I just won't let it come down. I feel so happy, so very happy, since my ever-loving baby left town. Ain't got no rest in my slumber. Ain't got no feelings to lose. Ain't got no telephone numbers. I ain't got nothing but the blues. There you go. Now you should be wide awake. Okay. Let me see. Meditation. Okay, the fourth girl is meditating. Oh wait, is that okay, never mind. Painting her nails, playing chess with Claire. The fourth girl is watching everyone. That's not creepy. Let me see if they put an answer on this one. Someone says she is typing this. Well, it wouldn't be typing, it would be writing. Let me see. Sleeping next to me. It's not correct. It's not correct. Oh, so the fourth girl is playing chess. Oh, okay. You got that right. Yes. Wow, that is very smart. Okay. Now, there are no prizes, but that was very astute, and I am super impressed. Well, let me see if I can find something else. This one is kind of interesting. Okay, let me put this up here. All right, I'll leave that with you while I look for another one. Oh wow, this is a tough one. Make the girl's name out of this. Okay, I'll do this one too. I feel like this is a trick question. Okay, I don't like that one. Okay, rule. Rose Handberry, right? Rare. Why is it missing a T? Why is what missing a T? What word? What word? Why is that missing a T? Okay, this is not a puzzle or anything like that, but I'm going to just share it with you because it is very wise words. And I think everyone could benefit from this one. Ain't no woman like the one I got. Dun, 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 dun. Okay. There you go. Making money is a skill. Maintaining money is a discipline. Multiplying money is an art. So, which one are you? Are you skilled, disciplined, or are you an artist? It's not really a question, but I just thought I'd make a question out of it. I am going to say number one, number two, but multiplying, not so much. Not so much, but that is something we should all aspire to. Spendthrift, disciplined. Okay. Okay. I got another one for you guys. Let me see here. Make the girl's name out of the missing letters. Is it Zoe? No, not Zoe. Don't spell Zoe with a Y. Zula? I don't know. Oh, so Zoe, you can't spell it with a Y, right? Okay. All right. I thought it was just Zoe, but I guess some people spell it with a Y. All right. Wow. I got that one. I can't believe it. Oh boy. Now, here's a question that may have the Secret Service knocking on our door, but I'll ask anyway. Okay. Now remember, the Secret Service may knock on your door, so think about your answer. Consider what you're going to say. Oh, you know what? That is better. Get rid of all of them, right? I see what you mean. Instead of getting rid of the head, get rid of all of it. That is very wise. I like that. Yeah, get rid of all of them. They all need to go, right? Oh, I like that. War. There should be no war. Rats. Yeah, too bad it's only one thing. I would get rid of mosquitoes, rats, the squirrel that ate the wires in my car. So you you really want to get rid of Richard Eden, is that right? You desperately want to get rid of Richard Eden. I mean, I don't blame you, but yeah, what could I say? I don't blame you. You want to desperately get rid of Richard Eden. Okay. Tabloids. Yes, tabloids. That's a good answer. Sickness. Oh, Sandra, yeah, you know what? Um, I was just talking about that with someone who has the flu right now, and she rarely ever gets sick. And I was telling her, I was like, could you imagine being on some island where they've been cut off from the world and the flu does not exist? I mean, the seasonal flu costs so many productive days that you could be enjoying or working or whatever. Oh, I like that one too. That is something that has been devastating. That's a good answer. You want to get rid of the snakes. Okay. Well, I doubt if anyone will miss them because, I mean, yeah, you want to get rid of the snakes? Start with that one. Start with that one. I like horses, but I think I would get rid of at least one. I get rid of at least one. Oh yeah. You know what, Sandra, when I worked in a factory and worked in other places, I've had all kind of work, and I routinely worked regardless of how I felt. And now I feel so bad that I was really too insecure. I mean, I think about it, I could have taken the time off. At one job, I took off because I had never called off before. So I called off one day just so I could see what it's like to call off from work. And guess what? I felt so guilty I could not enjoy my day off because all I could think about was how much I inconvenienced other people, how I let down the team. So after that, I never called off again. Okay, here's another one for you. How many circles do you see? How many circles do you see? How many circles do you see? Six, nine, five. Now, how do you all get nine? Because I got eight. How did you get nine? Because I'm not counting the black dot in the middle. So if you're counting the black a dot, I don't think that that's right. I think it should be eight. So how did you guys come up with nine unless you're counting the dot? Because otherwise, you got from the inside out, you have pink, black, pink, black, pink, black, pink, black. That's eight. And I do not believe we're supposed to count that dot. The dot is a circle. Okay, I'm going to disagree with that, but um if you guys want to count it, you can, but I'm not going to count it because it's a dot, it's not a circle. Right? Okay. Now this one is oh, thank you, Maurice Brown. Thank you for spending time with us. Would I mean, you could count the zero. Oh, wait, let me see. Let me see about that. Um, okay. I still say 8, but so be it. Penny Wiseman, that is why I was a little nervous about sharing this one. I'm gonna go with headaches. I'm gonna go with headaches. Yeah, I'm gonna go with the headaches. I feel safer with headaches. Stress, problems, work. Oh man. Okay, I'm looking for one more before we go. One more. I don't know. This might be interesting. Let me try this one. How many? Oh, let me move that. How many words can you make? Let me see. Mm, kale. Um. Uh-uh. Wog. What is a wog? Um. Not a lot of options here. Cow. Okay. Pear. Can't go on forever. Yeah, this can't go on forever. Let me see. Lose. Okay. A lot. Grow, power, year. Okay, I got another one for you guys. What is the first word that comes to mind? Uh-oh. I got to take some of these others down so I can make room. Hold on. Okay, what is the first word that comes to mind? I'm going to type mine. Fox, Vex. Okay, was that Desan? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I mean, how could that not be first? How can that not be first? Sax, as in saxophone, box. All right. Fix. Okay. That's the first word that comes to mind. Obviously, there are not many guys here right now because if you were a man, that would be the first thing you see is the horizontal mambo. Yes, the horizontal mambo is the first thing that comes to mind. Or should I say the first word I see? Okay. All right. Rex as in king. I get that. Um okay, I'm going to type the number that I see. Got it. Got it. I hear you. Oh wow, this has been around. Yeah, I see 671. 678. Really? Yeah, I see most people see 671. Okay, I'm going to type my answer. I don't know how 79.9% failed this one. Yancey? Okay. Younger? Hazy. Yvonne, that's a good one. Yvonne, Yvette. Yeah, those are good. The first name I could think of was Yolanda. I used to go to school with a girl named Yolanda, and we used to call her Yo Yo. Give me one reason to stay here, and I'll turn right back around. Give me a reason to stay here, and I'll turn it back around. Oh, okay. I got another one for you guys. This is like a very long car trip we're on. I'm kind of drawing a blank with this. The only thing I could think of, I can't even spell it. Wow, Xerox. Okay. Yeah, that's what I was thinking too, is xylophone. I had to go and check the spelling. I couldn't spell it. Yeah, I had to go and check the spelling. I couldn't spell it. Okay. Xavier, X-ray. Oh, okay. I didn't think X-ray. Okay, let me see if I can find one more before we go. Oh, that's clever. Christmas. X-Man. That is clever. This Christmas, fireside blazing bright, with caroling through the night. And this Christmas will be very special Christmas for me. Yeah. Oh, okay. This is kind of the same thing, but I'll share it anyway. This is kind of like the other question. People who don't drink and smoke, how do you manage stress? Eat, eat. Yes, eating uncontrollably, that takes all the stress away. Give me a pack of cookies and I will show you what peace of mind is. I don't know if I can share this one. Yeah, I don't think I should share that one. Can I? No, I'm not going to share that one. Yeah, that one's a little dodgy. Um, that's interesting, but do I want to share that? Nah. Okay, well, you guys, I think I am going to exercise. Oh yeah, that's a good one. Listen to jazz music. Uh, telling people, let me put some lip balm on. You're gonna make me split my lip. Yes, you are gonna make me split my lip. Okay, shopping. I like that one. I don't go shopping for love. You're something money can't buy. Okay, I'm going to look for one more. Let me look for one more, and then we're going to say goodnight. But while I'm looking, you guys, please remember in this holiday season to make sure that you are mindful of your purse, mindful of your purse, because I have been looking at some of these videos where people, ladies, unfortunately, have have had their purses stolen, and that makes me very sad. So please make sure If you can, just don't even take your purse with you. Leave your purse at home. Yep. It's unfortunate that we live in a society where this is a problem, but I've been looking at so many videos where people have gotten their purses stolen. Um, okay. All right, just one more, and then we're going to say good night or good morning. Hmm. Oh, this is too easy. I don't know if I want to bother with this one, but maybe that's the appropriate one to use at this point. Okay, give me just a second. Um, that is too easy. Oh, you know what? I didn't even think of that. I thought of this. Hog. Pierce Morgan. I thought about Pierce Morgan with that big hog head of his. That big hog head, Pierce Morgan. Yep, that was the first thing that came to mind was Pierce Morgan. Hog. How about this? What is a word? What's a word that starts with L? I think I know what everyone is going to say. Laugh. Yes, love. I was thinking love. I mean, laugh is okay. Oh, this is too easy. Too easy. Lice, lice. Cammy Bluetooth, lice. Oh man. Lie, love, lazy, later, like. Okay. Name a country that starts with C. I mean, come on. What could be easier? What could be easier than this one? Hmm? What could be easier than this? Yes, Canada. Canada. Okay, China. China too. Okay, you guys, I'm going to say good night or good morning. Cameroon, Canada, Czech Republic, China, Cambodia. Okay, these are some good answers. Let me see if I can think of another one. I cannot think of another one. Name a country that starts with C. The Canary Islands? No, I don't think that's right. Thank you, Heather Stroud. Connie Bomber. Connie Bomber. Thank you for the super sticker. Connie Bomber, have you just been listening? Costa Rica. Yes, that's a good one. Costa Rica. Costa Concordia. No, that was a ship. Oh, okay. Well, thanks for listening. Chile, Cape Verde. Wow, that's a good one. Chile and Cape Verde. Oh, I know. Constantinople. Yes, Constantinople. It doesn't exist anymore, but uh Let me see. Komodo Islands. Okay. Croatia. Central African Republic. Chad. Okay. Cuba. How could we have missed Cuba? Yes, Cuba. Cameroon. Congo. Okay. I didn't know it was that many. Oh, this is interesting. This is interesting. I will share it with you. In case you ever find yourself in one of these types of jobs, Alpha, Bravo, Charlie, Delta, Echo, Foxtrot, Golf, Hotel, India, Juliet, Kilo, Lima, Mike, November, Oscar, Papa, Quebec, Romeo, Sierra, Tango, Uniform, Victor, Whiskey, X-Ray, Yankee, Zulu. There you go. In case you ever have to call out some letters, those are what you want to use. So take a screenshot of that so you can practice. Like if you're on a call and they say, "And what is your first name?" Bravo, Bravo, Alpha, Romeo, Oscar, November. Chetsia. Oh yeah, Chetsia. Oh yeah, Ivory Coast. What is it? Coast. Yes. Yeah. So just remember that. That's how people that work in certain jobs, that's how they say it. That way, when you're calling it out on the radio, it's very clear to the person listening. Okay. What you want, baby, I got it. What you need, you know I got it. All I'm asking is for a little respect, just a little bit. Respect, just a little bit. RESPECT. Find out what it means to me. Okay, 393 people. I'm gonna say good night. Cote de, what is that? Cote de Lure. Cote de Lure. Cote de Lure. All right. Good night, y'all. Love you guys. I will see you all tomorrow or next time, whichever comes first. And don't forget, make sure you guys listen to the I did the cinematography for this. The link is at the top of the chat. Please watch it and like it and share it. Please leave a comment. This is Nathan's first solo single, and I'm very proud of the work that he's done. He has taught himself to play the instruments and everything. So please go there right now. It's only like what, about 3 minutes long? Make sure you watch it and leave a comment. Okay? All right. Thanks, everyone. Good night. Yes, blessed Monday to you too.